Emily. How's it going?
It's going great. It's a
Great.
beautiful day here in sunny California.
I know, it's so nice. So yeah, you're located in California and you are a booking and talent agent. And I am so curious about this job myself. I don't know much about it. And so I would like to first start out with asking you what piqued your curiosity in picking this career?
Yeah, so it all started, really at an early age, I was very interested in acting and theater and that type of, creative, outlet. And I knew that I wanted to be a star one day, as one likes to feel when they are young and like to perform. So at an early age, I took up theater and dance, a little bit of choir, just trying to express myself in that way. And then when I was older, I believe in college, my first year of college, I was living in Texas. So that's where I'm from. And I was having trouble figuring out how to get my foot in the door of the entertainment industry, especially with Texas. Not so much being, an entertainment hub. There are tons of opportunities there, but definitely not on the same caliber as California or New York per se, Atlanta, Chicago, other cities in the US. So had to get a little creative. I pretty much cold emailed a bunch of talent agencies, that were located in Texas where I was at, and just asking if I could have an internship, one of those good old unpaid work in the mailroom types of jobs, just to get any type of experience. And I thought it would be best to approach it more on the business side of the entertainment industry. That's what seemed to be more realistic, just where it was geographically. Fortunately, I had one agency reach out to me, give me a chance, and I was like, yeah, come work for us, come, become like a administrative assistant, work in the mailroom type of job. And really, as soon as I was exposed to that side of the entertainment industry, I was hooked. It was definitely something I was interested in, from then on.
I think that's cool. I mean, you never know
Mm-hmm.
what the possibilities are or about certain careers or anything until you get your foot in the door a little bit. Let's hear a little bit about your job now. What is it like?
It's definitely, it can be pretty unpredictable. So I'd say this job is great for people who like to be on their toes, maybe not expect so much of a routine during the week. I do have a set amount of hours, and I do try my best to have, sort of a work-life balance. I guess we can get into that later. But as far as the job and what it entails now, I represent actors and models for commercials, print work, commercial print, and sometimes, one-offs like hosting gigs and events and such. I used to work in the television and film space, but now I'm more focused on modeling and sports print as well. So we do represent a lot of athletes, and more so, yeah, the modeling and commercial space.
Oh, tell me a little bit about the process. What is that like for you, getting a new client and a new talent?
The talent scouting and signing process can come from many different avenues. There's always those stories of, people who say that they met a talent scout at a grocery store or at the mall, and they were approached and someone told them that they would be great for modeling in particular, and then they signed with an agency and they're one of the biggest supermodels in the world. And that does happen. That is the thing. We do have talent on our roster that we found, just walking down the street at an event or at the farmer's market. Does happen. I wouldn't say it happens all the time, but that is an occurrence. I'd say the regular process, usually we have a kind of a talent hub on our website where people can submit pictures, their portfolio, experience, resume, even just message us, through our website. So it's very streamlined online. And then our talent coordinator and our agency director kind of looks through all of these submissions, is what we call it. And then we pick and choose kind of what the needs are of the agency according to, what we think would be great skill set wise. If someone has a particular skill set that looks good that we don't have a lot of in our agency, or a certain type of look, even age, whatever. And then we invite them in for an interview and then talk about expectations and get to know the talent. And of course, we always agree as a team who we want to sign on. And then, from there, then we just go on with a general, agreement, having them sign on to our agency. Other avenues, I guess, besides just submitting through our website, we do get a lot of cold calls from people that are interested in joining our agency. Social media is definitely utilized now. We definitely get a lot of messages from people interested in joining the agency. And then also, I think the second biggest thing would be just recommendations from, talent that we have already signed. Maybe they have a friend or a family member who's interested in getting into this type of space. So we definitely take referrals very seriously. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Can you tell me a little bit more about what it's like for a client? Let's say, I'm just going to throw this name out. Let's say like Nike was interested. They wanted to hire someone to model for them in a campaign. And what would the process be like on your end to get someone for them?
Sure. So, clients like Nike, they either have, a breakdown. I call it a breakdown, and they can put it online on the casting sites that agents utilize. There's specific casting sites. And a breakdown basically just says, hey, this is a Nike job. This is, where we're shooting, when we're shooting. These are the type of specifications of the talent that we're looking for, which means, whether they have to have within a certain age range, have a certain skill, etc. And then the process goes, either it's on that site or they reach out directly through a phone call or email to the agencies and explain all the details, of course. And from there, the talent agent, the booking agent, will gather a package or a group of talent that fit those specifications and submit it to Nike. So from there, Nike will kind of review all of the submissions that come in from all the agencies and, pick kind of just like a short list of talent, or they'll, really love the talent and want to book them right then and there. Regardless, it's a little bit of a process. And also sometimes Nike might not be the first person that we come in contact. There are production companies and casting companies, which are other departments of the entertainment industry that we communicate with almost as a middleman. There are lots of hands that go into just one shoot. And then, yeah, from there, if Nike is interested in any of our talent, that's where the kind of negotiations come into play. That's where we flex our talent agent expertise or experience and, really just confirm all the nitty gritty details, the details that aren't really fun and kind of boring. And some people don't really care to handle. Well, that's where we come in. So that means figuring out the rate, how much the talent is going to get paid, figuring out the usage, which means where and when the content is going to be seen, And then just logistics, where the shoot is, what time, how is the talent going to get there. And then also the other aspect of that is any type of contracts that need to be signed, any releases. We call it a talent release, which is like a contract. Negotiate that, all the details in there, and really that responsibility is just to make sure that we are protecting ourselves, the talent, our number one priority, and of course the people that we're working with, Nike.
Okay. And then what is your balance like? Are you mainly in the office? Are you out and about with your talent? Are you on shoots? Are you, what is that kind of like?
Yeah. Oh man. So there was an answer pre-COVID and there's an answer post, kind of still in COVID era. If it will ever end. But so before the times of a global pandemic, we were definitely in the office, in a physical office. And that would be the time where we were able to collaborate with other members of our agency, of course, and also, have the talent come in. Usually talent will physically come in just to have a quick chat, ask any questions, take digitals, which just means updating kind of their natural photos, their current headshot per se, and then and also talent interviews. And yeah, so we would work from the office. And then now we definitely have slowly trickled back to working in the office. My particular agency works 2 days out of the week in the office, and then the rest are from home. An agency will typically follow a Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, 8 to 6, whatever type of, work hours. And that's pretty normal for the entertainment industry as far as, especially the administrative side as a whole. And then of course, if anything comes up during the weekend, anything urgent, an emergency, we're definitely on call for our talent. And then I'm trying to think of what else. As far as visiting shoots, talent agents definitely, for particular projects, have the opportunity to attend movie premieres and attend certain shoots. It definitely doesn't happen often. I think the talent agent is kind of the one behind the computer on the desk, just typing away and making those phone calls. And we're definitely, on location, and our talent is the one truly, putting in that work on set. Although it would be fun to definitely have that luxury of visiting a big budget movie.
Also, I'm sure it's rewarding to see like the fruits of your labor and a happy product, with a happy client and talent.
Yes, it's so nice to see. I mean, if you're into production and you have the opportunity as an agent to go visit the set and kind of see how all of it gets put together, it's very interesting. But majority of the time, we don't really have the time to do all of that. I think the part where we see the fruits of our labor are definitely when we see the final product. So like it's so fun to watch my talent and be watching TV and see our talent on a commercial. And I'm like, oh, I submitted, I booked them for that job, or like in a magazine, or even on billboards. It's really exciting.
I can imagine that the industry that you're in is, I think it's changing to a degree, but it's still somewhat cutthroat. And it's based on image and talent and things like that. And so how, for you, I know that you're booking people and you're giving people these job opportunities. How does it weigh on your mental health? Or does it?
Yeah, that's a great question. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a job, and what I do can definitely affect my mental health personally. I think it would affect a lot of others as well. I think really the biggest thing is we care so much about our talent and making sure that they are protected, and also working really hard to give them, the opportunities, because we see something really special in each and every one of them. And so with that comes a lot of stress on your mind, lots of mental and emotional stress that can definitely get overwhelming sometimes. I think, there's a responsibility that the agent has, because you are dealing with, some talent's careers if they are doing this full time. A lot of it weighs in your hands, and that responsibility to ensure that they are kept working, is definitely not something to take lightly, and something to stress over. I think that would be the biggest thing as far as how it affects mental health.
I just was really curious about your perspective, just because a lot of it has to do with image. And I think we can so quickly, even just with Instagram, I'm not a model, but I have Instagram, and thought of, like, people don't really like that picture, or no one, commented on that, or maybe I didn't get booked for something, and talking with your talent about their mental health and making sure they're feeling good still. Mental health aspect, I think, is important.
Very important. It's something, especially with our talent, it's something that we take very seriously. I've always been a big advocate of, working on your mental health and getting it in check before doing anything else. So, that communication with our talent is really important. We don't discriminate. I truly believe that there is a job and an opportunity for everyone, no matter, how you act and what your skills are or what they aren't and what you look like. There's definitely a spot for everyone. And, with being a talent agent also comes sometimes being a therapist, and just being someone there for our talent to talk to, and to listen to their frustrations or their concerns, with how they think they're being perceived, and just really being a shoulder for them to cry on sometimes. It can definitely get pretty heavy. But yeah, mental health and all of that is very important to keep on top of, and something that we definitely stress to our talent. If you're not feeling comfortable, if you're not in the right mindset, take a step back. Don't do something. Don't feel pressured to do anything, that you are not comfortable in. Don't feel like you need to change yourself to book certain jobs, or, be with a certain client, or get into a certain group, and all of that. It's all very important and relevant.
What would your advice be for someone who is interested in maybe dipping their toe in the entertainment business, and then maybe also, after hearing your story, oh, that's kind of a cool career, how would I maybe get into that?
I think my best advice is to know, just for someone to know that it's okay to try it out. And there are many chances for trying out different departments, different specialties. If you end up going into this business, at least specifically talent agency speaking, and you start out in the mailroom or as like an assistant, you're not stuck there. There's always opportunities to advance or to transfer to another department. I've worked in music, I've worked in modeling, I've worked in television, and it's all very respected, especially when you're first starting out and kind of dipping your toes into a little bit of everything. I also think it's important for everyone to really focus on not stressing out. That's I can't stress enough how managing your stress is very important. And this job is manageable. It is tolerable. It is okay. I think there can be some sometimes where people look at, a talent agency, or they walk into an office and it's like, oh, crazy busy, everyone's on phones, everyone's yelling. Well, that is real. It's not it's not the majority, and really making sure that you have time for yourself. I think the last thing is really, if you want to truly become a talent agent, to understand your why. Why are you doing this? Why do you want to be a talent agent? It's definitely something that you have to ask yourself probably once a year, just to keep yourself in check. I know personally my why is I love helping others, just as simple as that. I love helping others. I love being in a creative space, and any opportunity I get where I can help others and be around creative people is the job for me. So that's why I'm here working at a talent agency.
I love that. I love that. I love the reason why. I haven't heard that yet. So why do we want to do what we do?
It helps you figure out, things down the road. You just ask yourself simply, why? Why am I doing this?
Yeah, I appreciate your time.
Of course. Thank you for asking me these questions.
Of course.